Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and that means as millions of white people prepare to watch a group of mostly black athletes scoring touchdowns, we have to talk about how the National Football League is racist. Brian Flores, a black guy who coached the Miami Dolphins for the past 3 seasons, has filed a lawsuit against the NFL and 3 teams, claiming that their hiring practices are racist. One of those teams is Miami, which replaced Flores with Mike McDaniel, someone who is only half black. According to NFL.com, only 5 of the last 36 head coach openings have gone to black men, and those who are upset say that proves the NFL's hiring practices are racist. But interestingly enough, that means around 14% of the last 3 dozen head coach openings were filled by a black person. You know what else is 14%? The population of black people in America. So that's hardly any kind of evidence that the NFL currently has racist hiring practices. Just imagine for a second that there's a person who grew up in a remote, far-off land that had never seen or heard of any kind of sporting event. On his flight to America, someone tells him about football and how the NFL is racist. Then he's invited to a Super Bowl party. What would he think when the game comes on? The Rams roster is 66% black, and the Bengals roster is 77% black. That guy would be confused, to say the least. They want us to believe that the majority of NFL players are black because the teams want to hire the best players so they can win games. Then at the same time, those same teams hire inferior white coaches because racism is more important to them than winning when it comes to coaching. How does that make any sense? If blacks are overrepresented on the field and underrepresented on the sidelines, and the same people who are hiring the players are also hiring the coaches, how could racism cause one of those disparities? Another aspect to this is something called the Rooney Rule. It's a rule that requires teams that are looking for a new head coach to have to interview at least one diverse candidate for the position. And it doesn't matter if the team already knows who they want, and that person is ready to sign the contract, they still have to interview a minority candidate for the job. This actually happened to Flores. Someone congratulated him by text on getting a job that he hadn't interviewed for yet. The text was actually supposed to go to a different coach named Brian. So even though this other guy had already gotten the job, Flores was still going to be interviewed for the position. And by interviewed, I mean that team needed to fulfill the requirement made by the Rooney Rule. Here's the thing. In an organization like the NFL, they all know each other. When a team is trying to fill a head coaching job, it ain't like a bunch of us are filling out applications. They got their eye on an assistant coach from that team over there or a head coach from another team. And forcing them to interview someone they're not interested in won't lead to more diversity. Just hard feelings. Case in point, Coach Flores. The other day I was debating a guy about this on Facebook, and his argument was that the numbers don't lie. If only 3 NFL coaches are black, then it has to be because of racism. But what have we learned from the great Thomas Sowell? Disparate outcomes aren't proof of discrimination. It's why no one thinks that 70% of NFL players being black is proof that whites, or Hispanics, or Asians, or dwarfs for that matter, are being discriminated against. No one believes that racism is why the majority of NFL players are black. Look, quit viewing everything through a racial lens. It causes you to see things that just aren't there. And there might be a lot of problems with how the NFL runs their organization. That might be true. But it's obvious to anyone with an objective eye that racism isn't one of them. And that's the simple truth. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you all want to support this channel, check out the links in the description, and let's keep putting some common sense back into the great debate.